Welcome to Coddiwompling Along the Tao with Noel Eastwood. This is episode 1 and it's my first video blog. I've never done anything like this before. It's not high tech, so you'll have to bear with me with my amazingly inexact ability to use this form of media, but I'll give it a good shot. Coddiwompling is a word that came up on a search I did because I wanted a word for the blog. Something to do with, the mystic, the seeker, the adventurer, the wanderer, the fool, the fool's journey. And up came this word, Coddywomple. And I read the description and there it was. To travel purposefully towards an as yet determined destination, which is exactly what the fool does. If you've been reading my newsletters and my books, you'll know that if you're with me, then you're on this path. The Tao is a Chinese word that means the way, the path. Coddiwompling along the path. And I've been involved with Taoism since 1980 when I started learning Tai Chi, which opened the door to the greater universe within us and without us. So particularly important to me. Here it is. adventurediary.co. Here's the girls. 2016. So these girls are travel bloggers, adventurers, and the word was invented in 2016. What do they say? Coddywomple is an English slang word, but one which should easily be adapted to your vocabulary. So it's not ancient Norse, it's not Old English, it's an invented word. The picture which you can see here, which you sort of can only half see, and I don't know how to turn my head off, is drawn by Peter Fenton. She's a Brisbane-based artist, and she provided the artwork for my first cover, for my first book. Well, actually, it's my second book. Psychological Astrology and the 12 Houses. And she created these. The covers for my series, The Fool's Journey Through the Major Arcana. So there's Pentacles. I wonder if I can get Pentacles up. There it is. Pentacles, Swords, Cups. And I'm working on one, so I've got 4 out of the 5 written and published. Cups is being narrated as we look at this, and Wands, I'm hoping to get it done before mid-year, but I've just had a pretty major transit, which I'm actually writing up a piece about now, over my ascendant Saturn, Jupiter, and Pallas Athene, the asteroid goddess. So it's been a little bit rocky for me, and getting my head back into creative mindset has been a bit of a struggle. So yeah, so I'll have it done by mid-year, but I'm really hoping to get it done earlier. I'm working on it. Okay, now I just want you to know that I've got 2 screens. So this is the main one. The camera's up there, but I'm looking at the screen as I'm talking to you, and my other monitor is there. So I'm grabbing things there and moving them around. These blogs, I want them to be short, 10-15 minutes. I want them to be interesting. I want them to be informative, much like my newsletters, and about those topics that I'm interested in, that I've involved my entire life advancing, understanding, learning about. Here's my website. If you're into meditation, you can go to soundcloud.com and there's a link, and they're up there for free. And I've had many people tell me that I put them to sleep at night. I like that. Right, I just want to tell you a little bit about, with the blog, what I'm also hoping to do is give you some background on the books that I write. And this one, The Fool's Journey Through the Major Arcana, was written about 5 years ago. There it is as a cover. That's the new cover. The about 2014, late in 2014, I had Jupiter come through my 7th, 8th house, a Jupiter return, and he stirred things up for me. Jupiter does pretty magic things in my world, and I'd buried my head in my psychology practice for the previous 10 years, just work. I wanted to be a good psychologist. I wanted to really give everything, and to do that I dropped most of my astrology work, and I did a little bit here, a little bit there, but it was no longer the focus of my life. So the psychology practice and the work that I was doing, I did a lot of neurofeedback, a lot of biofeedback as well. And along comes Jupiter, transiting Jupiter, and bingo, things change in a very, very big way. I created a new website, and Pluto's Cave was what I called it, because I have half my planets are in Pluto, a conjunct Pluto in Leo, and 6 planets are in the 8th house. So I live in Pluto's Cave. I wanted to create a little booklet to give to my subscribers, and I thought, well, the major arcana. I'd heard about the Fool's Journey through the tarot, and I thought, well, I can do that. So I did. It was like 20 pages, quite simplistic, and over the years I've edited and edited. My poor brother Mark, he did a lot of editing for me, long-suffering fellow. My son Stephen and his wife Lorna helped me with the very first edition. Thank you. I love you both. Along came Crystal, who helped me edit the first one. Beautiful, beautiful lady. And then 2 years ago, Joanne came in and she helped pull it apart and rebuild it. And that's the 3rd edition that I've finally got, and that's become a bestseller. And another beautiful, beautiful soul. So I'm very, very fortunate that I've had people come into my life to help me. But getting on to this, I'm experiential. I need to feel it, what I'm doing within myself. So with the Fool's card, because it's his journey, I did a lot of scrying. Scrying is where you look at the card, you close your eyes and you meld with the card, you go into the card, or you take the card into your psyche and free flow with it. And eventually your unconscious starts to bring things together for you, where you get insights. I took the card to bed for a couple of nights with me, stuck it under my pillow, didn't tell my wife. She thinks I'm mad enough as it is. And I had this dream, and this is the dream. The dream's in the book. There it is. The Fool, I'm standing beside this dirty, dusty road in the countryside. The Fool walks past me and indicates for me to come and join him. So we're walking along the path, the dirty old road, and we climb through the timber railings to a paddock of cut wheat. And there's a scarecrow there, and the scarecrow's falling apart. You know, it looked like it'd been there for like 5 or 10 years, and his shirt was just threadbare, full of holes, straw everywhere, his hat on, his face sort of falling off. And the Fool very reverently takes his own shirt off and swaps it, gives it to the scarecrow. And it moved me so much that when the dream was over, when the experience was over, I wrote it out and put it into the book. There's a couple of other stories like that, other experiences that I've had on the other side, and they're in the book as well, and you'll find out about them. I'm writing a book on the mystic when I finish the Wands book, and I'll put that in there as well. So the idea of these video blogs is an opportunity for me to talk about other things that, background to the stories that I write, background to the work that I do. and it's a way of me getting in touch with you, my support base. If you have any questions or something you'd like me to do a blog on, please send me an email. I'd love it, because I don't know what you want. I know what I would like to tell you, but it's much, much better coming from you. So you'll see on my newsletters that I've requested that you purchase direct from me, the author, from my website. The reason being that one particular major online bookseller is ripping independent authors and narrators off in a really big way, in a very dishonest way, in my opinion. And they're encouraging people, readers, listeners, to listen to an audiobook or read through the book and then return it for no cost to them, which is fine. That's like a library. But it means I don't get anything for it. So someone can read my entire series, every single book that I've got out there. I think I've got 7 or 8 books, and listen to them all as well. But I don't get a cent for that. This particular company, they don't pay me for each read, for each return. So please consider, now that people know, because they don't tell people this. People borrow. They think, well, of course the artist, the author, the musician, the narrator, of course they get paid for these borrows. But some companies aren't very honest, and the most important thing to them is the dollar, not people's well-being. And so this is now happening. I've got you beautiful people to say thank you to for actually purchasing directly from me. I really appreciate that. It does make a difference, because now that I'm retired from practice, the money that I earned through my astrology and tarot, my writing, is what I live on now. And every cent actually makes a difference. Anyone that's been in business for themselves, I know there's authors out there, there's astrologers and tarotists like myself out there, and every dollar does count, makes a difference. So I'd just like to say thank you to my support base. You guys, that's why I do this. If I didn't have any feedback, if I didn't receive your beautiful emails telling me how much you've enjoyed my work, then I wouldn't be doing this. So a big thank you. Okay, so this is episode 1. This is the first video blog. I'll be doing more. I'll be putting them up on YouTube and on Facebook, and I'll put a link on my website. So shoot me an email whenever you feel like it. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Just be mindful that I'm not an expert. It's hard enough for me to write a book, for me to even structure a sentence. How many times do I have to go back and edit my work? You have no idea. I'll tell you all about myself later on, but yeah, I have difficulties. If you read my stuff, you'll see that my editing could do with a bit of work. I'm getting better, but it takes some time. Even though in terms of writing psychological reports, for courts, for doctors, for lawyers, for medical reasons, educational purposes, that was fine. But to do this sort of stuff, it's a huge amount of work. 50,000 words, 100,000 words is different to 1,000 or 2,000 words. And yeah, I'll probably do a blog on my writing. I might do a series of blogs too, because it's actually quite interesting what I've discovered about myself and about the process. Okay, so I'll finish up now, and a beautiful thank you again, and I'll catch you at the next episode. Thank you.